我が名は豪輝。うぬの誠なる一撃を見せてみよ。
Hello guys, this is Spicy, and this is a review on the Bandai S.H Figuarts Street Fighter Akuma. This is number 5 in the Street Fighter series, and obviously this is the North American release because the Japanese version actually called him, his name is Gouki. And we got Akuma here, so yeah, very interesting. They actually make a new package for the North American market. And we do have the kanji here, Gouki. Means a prideful ghost. I don't know why they named this character Akuma in North America. I think some people will actually take offense to that because it actually means demon. And I would just prefer his Japanese name instead of Akuma, but whatever. Anyway, released in 2018, made in Japan. You can find this figure for around $45 US in North America. And as part of the Tamashii Nation action figure type line from Bandai. So Tamashii Nation includes S.H Figuart, S.H Monster Art, and Robot Damashi. And here's the UPC. It's rated for ages 15 and up. It's distributed in the North America by Bluefin Distribution. And here we have some pictures of the Akuma and some optional parts. And it's using the new fighting body system for better articulation. So he's the master of the fist. All right, so we do have these backdrop here that comes with this figure. I actually consider him as a bonus because the one I got is kind of bent out shape just from being packaged with the figure, but you know, it works, so that's pretty cool. And for accessories, we got the Go Hadoken here, which is very nice. I like the shading on this one a lot. And we have a stand here for the Go Hadoken, so you can pose him firing off the Go Hadoken. That's pretty cool. All right, we have 2 Clenched Fists right here. This one has some slight paint smudge on the knuckle. I think the sculpt work is pretty good, and the paint is okay. It's pretty clean. I know some people complain that, you know, you're paying $50 for a premium format figure, and there's still paint issues. Well, keep in mind it's made in China. And, you know, for what you get on these figures, I think it's okay. It's not really that terrible. So this one doesn't seem to have any, well, serious paint issues on these 2 hands. So we have 3 sets of hand options. We have the Clenched Fist. We have 2 of these. I think these are for his air fireball poses. And then we have the ground fireball poses right there on the hand. And then we also have face options. One looking left, one frowning. Well, this one's looking left. And then there's one just looking straight. And then we have the clenched teeth. Or the grin. The evil, angry look. Alright. Let's take a look at the instruction sheet real quick. Yeah, we have normal, left eye, clenching. So you can change out the faceplate very easily, also change out the hands. And we have the stand and the Go Hadoken effect part, and we also have the backdrop assembly. So you can do whatever you want with it. That's pretty much for the instruction sheet. It is in Japanese and English. So yeah, that's pretty good. Very useful. Alright, so where do we start? Now, the pros on this figure is that, you know, Akuma is actually sculpted to his video game likeness. So if you're a fan of his appearance in the video game, you should like this figure a lot because I think they did a very good job of depicting his appearance from the Street Fighter video games. Obviously not from Street Fighter V. I think this background here is actually from Street Fighter V, but this is not how he looks like in Street Fighter V. I think he looks like this all the way up to Street Fighter 4, and then they changed his appearance. So that's why the box says Street Fighter. Anyway, I don't know where they're going with this the Street Fighter figure in terms of design and stuff, but he's very accurate to his you know, game appearance. So, you know, like Capcom characters, they are very stylized. They're drawn in a way that, you know, are not necessarily anatomically correct. I think they just make their character very, you know, cartoonish. and very anime like. So don't expect any sort of anatomically correct proportions on this figure. But you do expect him to look like his in-game appearance, and they did a very good job on doing that. So. That's really nice. So let me show you guys how to replace his face. So basically, you just remove the faceplate here. We have 3 peg holes, and let's just put this one back on. Now the necklace is removable if you remove the head, but the gi is not designed to be removed. Now if you're gonna remove the gi, you're gonna have to disassemble the whole figure, and by doing that, you take a risk of ruining the figure. So just be aware of that. I don't recommend removing the gi or any of the waist skirt here, because you might be throwing away $50. Just be very careful if you consider modifying this figure. Anyway, let's talk about some quality control concerns that I have with this figure. Now, with this particular figure, I think a lot of people that done review on this figure, like the shoulder like to just pop out its joint, or the elbow like to fall off. Now, I can tell you, I already experienced very similar issues already. So I'm a little bit concerned about what Bandai is going with these S.H figure. They're $50 and the arm comes off so easily. I am kind of skeptical about the quality control. Now also, a lot of people have complaints about the way his body is molded using these the plastic. It looks kind of shiny. Yeah, he does look a little bit more shiny than I like, but to be honest, it's really not that bad. I feel like it gives him that sort of that muscle man kind of look with all the grease up. Make the muscle look more defined. Yeah, some people are gonna like it, some people are not gonna like it. And I think his face really needs some more shading to it. I mean, we got all these details, but it's really hard to make out. Maybe like some panel lining or some wash on his face would make him look even better. Other than that, that's pretty much it. So my major complaint is about the joints on this figure. It's kind of weak. Yeah. Alright, anyway, other than that, I don't have a lot of complaints. He's very game accurate and he looks overall really good. So let's talk about what you can do with this figure. So obviously, you can change out the hands. So let's go ahead and swap out the hands here. They have these similar joints. Most of the S.H figure has like this design, like the ball joint and then the hinge. So that's pretty good. That's really great for articulation. Now my complaint is that sometimes it's really hard to get the hand to go into the ball socket. Yeah, I have this problem with Vegeta too. I don't know if I'm doing it wrong or I'm just a noob when it comes to these S.H figures, but I always have the hand coming off once I put them on there. So anyway, here we have him firing the Go Hadouken. I think let's do the air pose right here. He's very fun to pose. Yeah, he's a really fun figure to play around with. Assuming if you don't have any, if he don't have his arm and stuff falling off, it's a really cool figure. All right, here we have him firing the Go Hadouken. You can do a lot of, you can do most of his in-game poses. So we can have him doing the crouching wind pose that he does. I know the hands are incorrect, but yeah, he can do that. He can do this pose fine, perfectly fine. Yeah. Anyway, I think he can do Dragon Punch. Let's go ahead and swap this out. Yeah, if he can't do Dragon Punch, then he fails. I think this leg is going up like that. Can do his signature Shoryuken. And he can also do his diving kick thing. I think it's like that. That diagonal down kick that he does in the game. I was a big fan of Street Fighter in the 90s, and Akuma happens to be my favorite character, so this one I definitely like this figure a whole bunch. Yeah, alright, so let's talk about articulation. So obviously he has a toe hinge right here, and then we have the hinge right here for the feet. Got ankle rockers. We have a little, 90-degree bend. That's all you're gonna get. Also have the thigh cut right there. The hinge to bring the leg out like that. And then we have the ball joint for the waist. We also have an ab crunch. Like, yeah, I think this is as far back as you can go. Just straight. It can't really go too far because the gi is actually hindering the articulation. We have a neck hinge right here. I think you can go a little bit left and right, also up and down. His head can look up. This is as far as his head can look up. Look down. Obviously the head's on a ball joint, and then these are just sitting loose on his neck. And we do have the butterfly joint here on the shoulders, although it is actually kind of hindered by the... Oh, actually, no. You have to pull it out a little bit. Yeah, and then you can get the butterfly to activate. So that's pretty good. And the shoulders can go up like that. I think this is as far as you can go. If you're going to go further out, the shoulder can pop off. And then we have the bicep bend right here. It's a double jointed elbow, but I wouldn't recommend like trying to mess around with it too much, because I think people have this whole section pop out like that. It's like a peg that goes into the shoulder. This whole thing just pop out. So be careful of that. We also have elbow rotation there, and obviously the hand is on a ball joint and a hinge, so that's pretty cool. And yeah, overall a pretty solid figure. Okay, now I did notice another issue right here on the belt. If you're looking at it this way, you can see that there's a gap, and that's kind of unsightly. But if you're looking at it this way, you don't really see the gap. So yeah, I think this thing needs to be a little bit to the right. I think like that will be fine. But yeah, you can see there's a humongous gap right here between the belt. You know what? I think it's still a very good figure. Definitely worth like $52. And if you're a fan of Akuma, I think you can't go wrong with this one. It's probably one of the better Akuma figure out there. Especially if you prefer this look over the Street Fighter V look. Yeah, I'm trying to get my hand on the Street Fighter V Akuma from Storm Collectible and try to review that one. I heard it's a pretty good figure too. So anyway, I hope you guys find this information helpful. And as always, thanks for watching.